It's an extra Wednesday night video, so what's the connection between these gateposts and a famous sculptor? Bespoke bricks. How do you make a brick look blue? What's lurking at the quarry? And robots. Hello, my name is Martin. Welcome back to another video. It's a Wednesday night video, so it's either a spin-off or something a little bit different. Well, guess what? This week it's a spin-off. Different setting, by the way, because my back bedroom was sounding increasingly more echoey, so I've come down here into the living room. Anyway, what is the spin-off? So if you remember, just over a week ago we did a video about Tardebigge locks. We were invited down by the Canal River Trust. There'd been trouble at the lock and one of the walls had been bulging, and so they'd stripped back the wall. Some of the bricks had gone for a reclamation and they were sourcing new bricks from a Brickworks, and that took us to Birmingham, around Birmingham, to Cawardens brick reclamation yard and to Ketleys bricks, and it was fascinating. And it was a journey of bricks. Anyway, I'd never filmed anywhere like those places before. It was absolutely fascinating. And as you can imagine, we got quite a lot of footage, some of which didn't make it into the final cut because the video was around about 30 minutes long. So what I thought we'd do on this Wednesday night video is show you the stuff that we filmed but didn't make it into the final video. And we've got a nice little story from Cawardens Brick Reclamation Yard, and we've got some additional footage from the Brickworks as well, and then we'll go back to the locks. So stay tuned, and we're going to go firstly to Birmingham. We're going to go to Cawardens Reclamation Yard, and something we spotted that was rather unusual amongst all the other wonderful bricks that they reclaim. We spotted something, and it was, what is that? Yes, indeed, it was a what is that moment. So here we are at Cawardens Brick Reclamation Yard, and while we were rummaging round, we watched the bricks being cleaned off, but we were rummaging round as well, being shown round, and we saw these. Looks like some kind of gatepost, a grand entrance to a grand building. So we were like, wow, this is brilliant. So we sent Roy in to investigate. Right, you've been rummaging. What have you found?
Well, I've found some interesting capping posts. And I'm going to ask a question where these are from, but I believe there's a bit of history, an interesting story with these. But what a thing of beauty, they look like sandstone. Not sure where they were quarried from originally, but yeah, thing of beauty these, and we'll find out. So these are the posts. Now these are the posts, so this is some elaborate gate posts, isn't it? And they're the capping pieces that go on top. What the backstory is with these, because I believe there's an interesting story behind where these came from.
So this is Richard, and he owns Cawardens. Now Richard, we spotted at the back of your yard a rather interesting gatepost and some pillars, and I believe you know the story of that.
Yes, Martin, actually. I bought those about 18 months ago from a house just about 20 miles away from here called Garminlow Manor, which is a lovely house. And it has an interesting history in the fact that it was owned by a chap called Arnold Machin, right, who was a sculptor and an artist of some renown. And probably his most famous piece was he did the effigy, the sculpture of the Queen's head that appeared on the stamps.
No way.
And he did the very first one, and he did a number of them during her reign.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and the property was sold, and then we were fortunate enough to be called in by the new owners who were changing the front of the site. Yeah. And we thought, wow, there was these two super pillars with two curved walls. So we managed to buy them and put them in the yard. And here they are awaiting a new customer. Brilliant. So hopefully one of your YouTubers out there will love the story and come and buy them.
That's brilliant, yeah. It really is a case of almost everything here as a story, doesn't it? This is what struck us today, I think. Even the bricks.
Yeah, you have to have a passion for this. You've probably heard this already from some of the other guys. You've got to have a passion for this job, really. Yeah. And it is very interesting, the stories and the social history behind some of the stuff that comes into this yard. You know, and I'm very fortunate that I do a lot of the buying, right, and I go out and meet lots of very interesting people, yeah, see a lot of very interesting buildings, and find time capsules of, you know, where stuff hasn't been, not necessarily worth a fortune, but just really interesting, a shed that hasn't been in, nobody's been into it for 30 years. Yeah, yeah. You know, occasionally that happens.
It's the kind of thing we love that.
Yeah, you know, you're looking around, and it's not, I say, we don't sometimes it has no monetary value, but very interesting and you know, enjoyable and nice part of the job, really.
So there you go, that was Richard from Cawardens, a true gentleman and a fascinating story, and every brick tells a story. Incidentally, these that I'm looking at here in the yard, these are from the 1600s, these bricks that have been cleaned off and ready to be resold. Fantastic. Now, the quarry that we went to where the clay is sourced, that was fascinating. One of the things that fascinated me the most was the amount of coal that was there. We could see the coal measured sticking out of the sides of the valley, because these things quite often go hand in hand, clay and coal. As you're digging down through clay, you end up getting to coal. And the amount of coal that was just around on the ground. So they're digging out clay, but there's coal everywhere. So I found that quite fascinating as well. And I didn't emphasise just how much was just there. And great big blocks of sandstone as well, massive blocks of sandstone. So this is what you find amongst, within the clay. You find clay, and look at that, that's sandstone. Look at that, incredible.
And you can do that because it's weathered now, being exposed. And then you feel that.
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? Which sometimes end up at the Brickworks and they have to just take it out and send it back to the quarry for other uses. Anyway, that's a little fascinating side story. Now, Ketleys Brickworks, what I wanted to show you, and I didn't get a chance to show you, was not only do they do bricks, but they do roof tiles as well. So we'll take a look at the wonderful robots they've got in there, stacking all the roof tiles up. And also, they do bespoke bricks as well. So let's go and take a look back at Ketleys and see some of the different kind of work that they do there. We've already had a look round. It's probably one of my most favourite places we've ever been.
Yeah, I think we're in the bespoke section now and it's just something else, isn't it?
Something else. Anyway, I'll show you around. This bespoke section was fantastic. So what I wanted to say to you is, as well as making bricks, Ketleys make roof tiles as well. Some of the roof tiles are done for specialist bespoke jobs, custom made. And you can see here, these roof tiles are being made by hand. Craftsmen working the clay, actually working to a template and producing, you know, custom made, you know, not off the peg roof tiles. And you'll see they've got the stamp going on there of Dreadnought Works. But take a look at this.
Using a 3D
mould, yeah,
like that, and then I have to cut and like sculpt all my own shape into it and make that basically.
Yeah, that is that's something else, isn't it?
Yeah. And I've got another one here. It's pretty exactly the same concept, like it was just a rough shape and.
So for me, this was amazing. You can basically go to Ketleys with a design and say, I want to build a brick wall or some brick ornamental structure, clay ornamental structure, and I want it like this. And they can make it for you by hand. So I was blown away. I almost want to win the lottery now so I can build my weird bespoke house. But all done by hand in the bespoke section at Ketleys. It was utterly fascinating, and some of the bricks here, as you can see, are being made by hand and finished off by hand as well. And these will be a specialist job, these, where somebody's put a special order in.
Gives that flexibility to be really customer wants. It's a great bespoke.
So from handmade bespoke items to robots, and these machines, what they're doing is they take in the roof tiles that have been stacked up onto like those little racks, and they're further stacking them to go into the big dryers, and then they will go into the kilns and the roof tiles will be fired in the same way that the bricks are as well. The whole thing was fascinating. How a certain Kraftwerk song came to mind. That's inside the brick dryer that we looked down before. Now the bricks that go to Tardebigge, they are Staffordshire Blues, and I said in the last video I said how they achieved the blue colour, but I got a correction from Ketleys, and I'm happy to be corrected, and I'm happy to read this out to you. So they said this about the Staffordshire blues: all of our products are made using Eritrean marl clay, which is naturally rich in iron oxide. The iron oxide is what gives the clay its natural red colour, and this red colour is seen in our bricks and tiles when they're fired in a regular oxygen-rich environment. To generate the classic blue colour, we need to fire the bricks in a low oxygen environment, often referred to as reduced atmosphere or reduction firing. In this setting, the iron oxide undergoes a chemical change. It loses some of its oxygen and becomes ferrous oxide, which permanently shifts the colour from red to blue. That's why you still see those striking blue hues in old Victorian brickwork. It's a lasting transformation. The firing time and temperature are the same regardless of the final colour. It's just the kiln atmosphere that makes the difference. So there you go, that's how they get the blue. They're fired in a low oxygen environment, and that's what produces these very hard blue bricks that are very impermeable to water. I've learned something there, and I'm happy to be corrected. So here we are back on the Worcester and Birmingham Canal. Top lock, lock 58, Tardebigge locks. And the bricks will be coming here, and we're going to try and get back and see what's been going on, see the work that's been accomplished, try and get some footage of the brickies doing their thing, and looking at the new walls. So we will try and get back down here and give you an update of how the bricks are settling into their new home. Anyway, it's over to Emily from the Canal River Trust to tell you how you can get involved with the faithful restoration of this beautiful lock. I believe that people at home can get involved and help you out. How can they do that?
We would love it if people could join us on our brick story here. What we can do is help us to purchase a brick to help us to fund this very necessary repair. We're a charity and we really appreciate your support. So please, if you could click the link below and help us with our brick by brick, and thank you.
And it's important to say that this was unexpected, wasn't it? These are the kind of challenges you face on, is it 2,000 miles worth of canal?
Yes, 2,000 miles.
Britain. So, yeah, so any help is greatly appreciated.
Very much so, yes.
And obviously everything's done. It's wonderful to see the authentic way that you restore these things. We've been impressed today. And we've learned about bricks. So there you go, just some additional footage from Cawardens Brick Reclamation Yard, the quarry and Ketleys. I just thought all that was too good to not put in a video and not show you. Now, in the meantime, the work is carrying on at Tardebigge Lock. We are going to go back when we can, and we're going to see if we can catch the brickies in action, putting the bricks back in place. So if you want to get involved, you want to help out, little crowdfunder, I'm going to put a link here and you can buy a brick. So hope you enjoyed this alternative spin-off series, spin-off video on a Wednesday night. We'll see you back on Sunday again with another video. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.